Hey folks, it's Kat and I'm out for a walk with the youngest. You guys watch my shorts and my other videos will know that she just turned 1 year old on Saturday. Now I want to discuss autism around Eowyn. As I say, she's only a year old. I put up a video a while ago about her stimming, flapping when she's happy, which is what she does. My son flapped as well, not entirely the same, but kind of similar. So when we recognised that for what it was difficult to tell whether it's stimming or whether it's natural development at that age. Now, I got a bit of backlash for that video. I'd imagine from people assuming that A, I'm just looking for attention, B, I'm using autism as a way to get that attention, C, that, oh, she's entirely too young to be showing traits of autism at this age, and blah, 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 blah. Now, I want to discuss number C, because A and B you can chuck out the window. I've got an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old that are autistic. I have studied child development. I used to be a nursery teacher. I have worked with autistic kids. I have raised autistic kids. There's a good chance I'm on the spectrum myself. I was undergoing assessment for that prior to COVID. Unfortunately, that had to be nipped in the bud. So, I want to discuss Eowyn and the traits that she has shown prior to being a year old and, you know, the days following her birthday. Now, on her last assessment by the health visiting team, which is what we get in Scotland, after your baby's born, they come out 5 days, is it 3 days or 5 days? I forget. They come out a few days late after your baby's born and they do periodical checkups to see how the development of your child is going. Now, that would all be hunky-dory and she probably would have been discharged by them now. But A, I don't know why I'm going A, B, C today, but that's what it is. I can't have dairy or gluten. Well, we don't know if I'm celiac or not. It keeps coming back inconclusive. So I do have gluten once a week. I have a pizza from Pizza Hut, which is stuffed crust, because the gluten-free one is garbage. Apart from that, I tend to stay away from gluten. I stay away from dairy entirely. I'm just going to turn around here because I think we went a bit far. Now, when I was pregnant with the other two, I was still having dairy and gluten. When I was pregnant with Eowyn, I didn't have dairy at all. Although I could tolerate gluten pretty well when I was pregnant for some strange reason. Now, Eowyn, since she was little, cannot tolerate dairy. She is now on the milk ladder, so we're working our way up so that, you know, we're working towards her eating dairy. She's done her first week last week, where she tried a biscuit that had dairy included in it. This week we're doing like she had a pancake for lunch, well, bits of a pancake for lunch, and then she'll have bits of other food which has milk baked into it, and stuff like that, but that's beside the point. So the health visiting team were involved for that, and the fact that she had trouble putting on weight when she was born. With my other two, they were both off the 99% centile chart, if you're familiar with the red books that we use in the UK. If not, it's just a chart that tracks their growth and weight and height and all that jazz. And both my other kids were way off the charts, really big babies. She had trouble developing that way. Now, on to the autistic traits. The last time the health visitor came to do a review was just prior to her birthday. It's like 11-12 month review, and they go through you do like a questionnaire. Well, I do a questionnaire because there was underlying concerns for her. Normally, I don't think they'd typically do the questionnaire. They just say how they do it and blah blah blah, how's it going, like have an informal chat. We had to do the questionnaire, she had to assess her development. She scored absolutely nothing, zero, zilch, nada, on communication. She can go da 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 da, and makes her little noises, stuff like that, but she's not developing words. She's not developing more babbling sounds. She's not developing in that way, which was one of the key concerns with my son. Now, when my son was first referred to the paediatrician, speech and language, first they get referred to audiology, which she has been referred. We're just waiting on that appointment. At 14 months, she will get referred to speech and language and to the community child health team, which is where we'll see the paediatrician. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the same paediatrician that I've had for mother too. She knows the family history, she knows what's going on. So she's not developing language. Her social skills are the lack of eye contact, for one. You know, the big, did they give you eye contact? Like, I'm going to preface this by saying that not all autistic people are bad at eye contact. My 11-year-old, spot on with the eye contact, brilliant. She would pass for neurotypical if you didn't know she was autistic. My son, on the other hand, he kind of looks at you when he wants something, but that has developed over the years of sort of mimicking people. That was not a natural development for him. He didn't used to give eye contact when he was younger before. She doesn't respond to stimuli, so if we sat behind her and called her name or shook a loud thing, you'll see in some of the shorts, if you've not seen, there is a short on my channel. I think there's a couple of them, one where she's not responding to her name and another one where she's not responding to her name, and another like a shaker, toy shaker thing. So there's those. Her gross motor skills are fine, perfect. We never had any concerns with motor skills with the other two. Her fine motor skills are still needing a little bit of development. So when I put up posts saying, well, back then she was like 10, 11 months old, that she's, you know, is this stimming, or you know, she's not responding to her name. It's like, it's not that I'm looking for attention. I really couldn't give a rat's ass about attention. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the sort of emotional side of things, because obviously I'm getting negative feedback from people. Sorry guys, I'll just turn you this way. Getting negative feedback from people about the sort of videos that I put up about all this, and considering how young she is. So I know what I'm talking about. I have lived it. I have raised kids with it. I see all the signs there that I saw with my son, which kind of makes me feel like she's more developmentally leaning towards his side of development than her sister's. Her sister is in mainstream school, to put it this way, and my son is in provision and also is learning disabled. So she's leaning more towards his side than towards my oldest daughter's side of development. Now it's kind of hard to do that all over again. As I said, my 11-year-old is, well, she's 11. I had her when I was 23, and my son is 8. They'll both be 12 and 9 next year. Now, as I said, I wanted to talk about the emotional side, because up until her first birthday, I thought I was doing okay. With my older two, I didn't let myself get emotional about it. Now, I'm going to preface this whole thing by saying I don't want her to change. If she's autistic, I don't want her to not be autistic, because she won't be who she is if she wasn't. I want her to be who she was meant to be. I want her brain to be the way it was formed entirely. Now, that's a bit of a double-edged sword, because some people completely agree with that point and don't want their kids to change despite all the difficulties it puts them through, and other people would prefer that it was taken away entirely. And I'm not here to say that either way is positive or negative. I'm not here to say that my opinion is correct and everyone else's opinion is wrong, because that's just not the case. Obviously, my experience with raising my children is different to other people's experience in raising their children, and what they've had to go through and the hardships they've faced. So I can see it from both perspectives. Now, I didn't want her to be autistic. Now, it's a hard pill to swallow given how beautiful and awesome my other two kids are, but it's not that being autistic is a problem. It's not. It's that she is going to have to jump through XYZ amount of hurdles. She is going to have to face hardships that peers her age do not face. Her development is going to be scrutinized at every stage of her life, and we're going to have appointments after appointments. Now, that's why I'm upset. I'm upset for her that she's going to have to do all this. There's a lot of people coming. But I'm also upset that we're going to have to do this together. I'm going to have to go through all the appointments again. I'm going to have to write out, explain all her difficulties in graphic, vivid details. Again, I'm going to have to fill out all the forms for support again. I'm going to have to fight all the provisions to get her the best support she can again. And that's just taking a toll mentally at the moment. But yeah, I'll discuss that more later on. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.